United States has expressed interest in increasing military sales to India and potentially providing the F-35 stealth fighter. It's important to note that the F-35 sale process has not yet started and President Trump offers always gave surprises to his own administration. Recently President Trump offers F-47 to Japan, only in business perspective. President Trump's announcement was also very tricky that US would eventually sell India F-35s, but Indian officials have clarified that no formal process has been initiated, according to Reuters. During the visit of PM Narendra Modi to US between the 13th to the 14th of February 2025, US President Donald Trump surprisingly announced the sale of F-35 stealth fighter jets to India. This announcement is still a proposal and could take shape through a foreign military sale, FMS, route, which is a government-to-government deal with the Pentagon acting as an intermediary between the defense contractor, Lockheed Martin, and India. Through this deal, US is looking to expand its sales in the $200 billion United States dollars military modernization market of India over the next decade. This proposal has put India into a difficult position as India is facing challenges from China and Pakistan while also aiming to reduce military imports, but local defense industry not performed very well. Some military experts feel that F-35s can expand India's conventional deterrence, diversify national defense procurements, and offset pressure on tariff and trade deficit issues with the US, while others emphasize that India is looking for more co-production, research and development in India, rather than simply importing weapons and shelling billions of dollars. Likewise, any FMS is a time-taking process with many difficulties and complications involved which can take years to negotiate and resolve. Also, the proposed F-35 deal won't fill India's immediate requirement of more than 100 aircraft soon. Therefore, this proposal of the F-35 sale to India should be scrutinized from India's national interest point of view, rather than America's commercial or geopolitical goals. The F-35 is said to have a distinct advantage by virtue of its continuous production output and a proven manufacturing process, as Lockheed Martin is manufacturing it on large scale to deliver to US partners and allies, unlike other equipment manufacturers who don't produce fast and enough in numbers. The single-engine F-35 is stealthy with an ultra-low radar cross-section, RCS, with an emphasis on data fusion, interconnectivity, and versatility. The F-35 has a superior sensor fusion which allows them to share and fuse data with other platforms like fighters, AWACS, ground radars, and command centers, allowing them to operate together as a single, intelligent force rather than as individual units. After success of J-10CE in war with India, Pakistan has now plans to acquire 40 J-35 stealth aircraft from China in the near future, which could significantly impact the dynamics of the India versus China-Pakistan air power strength. Pakistan also partner in Khan fighter project, and China already operating J-20 and J-50 will ready in next few years pose greater threat to India. Therefore, F-35s to some extent can help in countering the threat of the J-20, J-35 and J-50. This offer could help India to bolster its depleting combat aircraft strength, which currently stands at 31 squadrons against a sanctioned strength of 42 squadrons. There are major drawbacks to the F-35 offer that shouldn't be ignored too. These include off-the-shelf price, technologies provided, life cycle and maintenance costs, etc. The US could also restrict India from operating the S-400 air defense systems along with the F-35, as that could expose the F-35's stealth characteristics, electronic warfare capabilities, etc. to the powerful radars of the S-400. At the strategic level, the F-35 acquisition could push India further towards US sphere of influence and can adversely impact the local initiatives of India, which is currently developing its own fifth-generation fighter jet AMCA project. The F-35 deal could likely be priced at more than $100 billion United States dollars for India, but unfortunately it won't involve technology transfer for local manufacturing. There can be compatibility issues in terms of air-to-air refueling due to different configuration design, integration with India's integrated air command and control system, incompatibility with Russian origin communication suites, software, hardware and weapons inventory differences. Military analysts have flagged the effectiveness of F-35 stealth as modern battlespace theater will continue to field powerful radars that can detect stealth aircraft. Other than that, there are flaws with F-35's fleet availability as its availability rate is abysmal. Hidden costs, platform complexity and impact on India's war strategy are the factors which diminish F-35's efficiency. The US has additional binding laws and rules that states that US government needs to grant permission to a country before they can use US-made aircrafts and weapons in a war even if that country purchases from US. Pentagon's Director Operational Test and Evaluation Office published a report in early 2024 which found that F-35s broke down regularly, leading to repairs taking an average of 141 days. Critical failure rate for F-35 was more than double of what was anticipated. The US Government Accountability Office (GAO) research shows that the F-35 faces production issues and modernization delays that increase its costs. This forced the US Air Force and Navy to fly the F-35s even lesser. The US offer of F-35 comes just in between Aero India show in Bangalore where the Russian Su-57 also participated and displayed its aerial capabilities. Through the offer of F-35, US could be attempting to preempt a potential Su-57 deal and steer India further away from Russian defense technology. The Su-57 first flew in 2010 and entered service in 2020. It has thrust-vectoring engines, which provide close-range dogfighting and air superiority, as agility and high velocity take precedence over pure stealth capabilities. The F-35 on the other hand first flew in 2006 and entered service in 2015. It prioritizes stealth, network-centric warfare, and data fusion, allowing it to detect and eliminate threats before getting detected first. The F-35 is stealthier due to its low radar cross-section, RCS, embedded sensors, and radar-absorbing materials as compared to the Su-57 which has partially exposed engine nozzles, having higher RCS. The difference in cost is drastic with Su-57E export version priced at $40 to $50 million per unit with technology transfer offer and source code availability, whereas the F-35A costing at $80 minus $100 million per unit, with no technology and source code. The IAF is currently focusing on acquiring 114 multi-role fighters to maintain air superiority through the Multi-Role Fighter Aircraft (MRFA) deal which will bolster its depleting fighter squadrons. India's defense industry leaders are also not impressed with the F-35 offer. Zen Technologies CMD has labeled the F-35 as a white elephant, citing its cost and design flaws. He emphasized joint development and IP ownership rather than imports. There is no doubt that the F-35 offer to India was made by the US President Trump purely from a business perspective to sell weapons to earn revenue for the American defense manufacturers and not to fall behind in India's lucrative defense market. We should also remember that any major FMS deal will involve the approval of the US Senate, which will rigorously factor in additional elements like India's human rights record, election fairness, and other related American propaganda. Adding to that the concern regards India's operation of the S-400, it's almost certain that the US will instruct India to refrain using S-400's full radar detection capabilities to operate the F-35 freely in Indian skies. This again bursts the bubble of the F-35's advanced stealth capabilities. The advancements in stealth technology runs parallel to anti-stealth technology, and by now, we should acknowledge the S-400's capabilities to detect stealth. After war with Pakistan, Indians have very thin options. Although Indian Tata Company manufacturing F-21 parts and many French companies working in India, but Indians failed to produce local fighter. Purchasing F-35 have many other repercussions for India. Kill switch data breach and source code limited access make US technology vulnerable for end user. Indian Ministry of Defense, already working on kill switch issue informed by Indian Air Force using Apache attack helicopters. This issue also raised by Germany, Canada and many NATO countries. Kill switch allows US access to weapons without user knowledge and all data of weapons transmitted through satellite. France doesn't allow source code to India in critical phase of war with Pakistan, and USA even not providing source code to NATO countries. The source code is a brain of a fighter, and without brain one cannot perform. Considering the current geopolitical realities, a conflict with India's adversaries Pakistan and China is on a very scales. But if at all, the IAF desires the need for stealth jets in very near future, the Indian government could look into the Su-57 or F-35 proposals, but as interim arrangements. The fact is more discouraging, when we evaluate India's indigenous projects wasted trillions of rupees and decades of delays. A country on one side attract Boeing, Safran and Dassault for fighter part manufacturing and decades of easy access to Russian technology on other side failed to produce local fighter jets.